Hello, my name is Darren Casey, and this video will go through what we're calling a day in the life of an IBM Digital Experience application developer. There are certain steps that you follow in order to put an application onto a DX server, and I'm going to go through them here and then walk you through each one of them. First thing we want to do is create the application itself, and in this case we're talking about front-end development techniques using HTML, JavaScript, CSS, and we'll do that, and then we'll also create a special DX configuration file, which is what we'll use in order to tell our tools how to push that up to the server and where it goes. We'll test it locally using a DX dashboard, an IBM provided utility, which does just that. The dashboard also pushes the application to the server. So we'll push that app to the server, and then of course you need to add it to a page so you can see how it works and test it in context with other applications on the page. So we'll do that testing on a desktop and on mobile device. So let's get started. So here's the application. As you can see, there are two apps here, and just typical HTML and JavaScript applications. And in addition, we have the special configuration file I mentioned, and it shows where this application will live on the server and what its name is, and then just what files we're excluding when we're pushing it up to the server. So I've written my application, and now I want to test it out locally. So we can use the DX dashboard to do that. So let's switch to that. The Web Developer Dashboard for IBM Digital Experience is this utility which allows us to manage script applications and themes and WCM content locally, and then push those assets to the server when we're ready. So what we'll need to do is configure some settings for it. First, I want to give the name of the folder where my script applications are, and this right there. And then the second thing we'll do is we'll give it server information so it knows where to push that to the applications. Give it ID and a password and a server. Save that. And then we'll switch over to the Script Applications tab. When I do that, you see the two applications. It found them in this directory. And so now here they are. There's a number of things that you can do with these applications. You can push it to the server. We'll have to test it first before that. We can run it just to see what it looks like locally. We can watch for changes and automatically push them. There are some other utilities as well. But what I want to do is test the application locally. And the DX dashboard has in it a lightweight HTTP server and a proxy, so that I could run the application locally and see how it looks before I push it to the server. So I can do that by just pushing the run button. I'll do that. And here's the application. It's my usage, kilowatt usage, and I have a couple little options here to show different usage metrics, and I can test that out, and I like it. This is good. It's ready to go up to the server. So I switch back to the dashboard, and now I can hit the push button. And that'll send this application up to the server so that I can test it there. It uses the configuration file to know where to put it and what server to put it on. So you can see, yes, successfully done. So now I'll switch over to my browser and go to the page where I want to have this content. And this is the page. Now, in order to add the content to the page, add this application, I need to put the page into edit mode, and I can just do that by clicking on this button here. And in our page, that allows me to now make any changes to the page that I need to. You can see there are a lot more controls showed up now that I'm in edit mode, including this one, which allows me to add page components and applications to the page. So if I click on this, you can see there are a lot of components that I can add to the page, but you might recall that the usage app that I created was in the My Account section, so I can open that up and see what the applications are in there. And here we are, just a few applications, but my home usage one is the one I care about, so I can just drag that right onto the page and drop it. And there's the content. So you can see it's now just taking up its own little piece of real estate. Let me go put this page back into view mode so I can see what it would look like for an end user. Alright, so now all the management controls are gone. I can test out this application, see if it still works the way I want it to. And it looks good. On a desktop, that is. Let's just see what tools we have to test it out on a mobile device. We have a mobile preview feature as part of our DX solution. So with this, we can simulate different mobile devices. And you see we have an Apple iPhone here, and I can see what the application looks like there by navigating to the My Account page. And again, we just get an idea of how the application looks, but I can also add other devices. Let's say I want to see what it looks like on my Nexus 7. The same website, I can do the same kind of navigation, but maybe I want to turn it this way, get a different menuing, and again, see what this application looks like on a Nexus. Pretty good. But that's not the same as testing on a real device. So now let me switch over to my iPhone, which is right here, and I'm just going to see what it looks like on the iPhone itself. Click on my Safari, and I have the page bookmarked. Need to log in. And here's the page itself on my iPhone, so I can go down and see what it looks like. Maybe turn it portrait and landscape mode and check out the buttons to make sure everything works. And it's good. So back to this list. You can see we created an application using standard front-end development tools and techniques. We can test it locally using a utility that IBM has provided, push it to the DX server, drop it onto a page, test on a page, make sure it works on a desktop and a mobile device. And thanks for watching.